All right, so get ready for a deep dive into some seriously intense astrology.
Intense.
Because today,
Okay.
we're exploring a very specific forecast for Sagittarius
Oh, right.
in March 2025.
Oh, wow.
And you sent this one in,
Oh, cool.
and it is unlike anything we've tackled before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What immediately struck me
Yeah.
is just how direct and detailed it is.
Yeah, this isn't your typical vague sun sign horoscope.
Right. This forecast comes from Lorenzo,
Okay.
an astrologer who's known for these incredibly precise predictions
Wow.
based on planetary movements.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
he does not sugarcoat things.
It's refreshing, actually.
Isn't it?
He seems to get straight to the core issues.
So are you ready to uncover some potential turning points?
I am.
And maybe even some hidden opportunities within this forecast?
I think so, yeah.
Because I think March 2025
Yeah.
is going to be a wild ride for Sagittarius.
Oh, tell me about it.
A sign that's all about freedom
Uh-huh.
and adventure.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this plays out,
Yeah.
considering how much Sagittarius typically avoids feeling confined or restricted.
Well, let's dive right into Lorenzo's overall
Okay.
Sagittarius March 2025 horoscope is titled
Okay.
Sagittarius March 2025 Horoscope Redefine Your Story Unfiltered Astrology.
Catchy.
And believe me,
Yeah.
the title delivers.
Okay, let's hear it.
He jumps right in with, Welcome to your Sagittarius March 2025 horoscope,
Okay.
where we cut the nonsense and get straight to what actually matters. You can practically hear him saying it, can't you?
He definitely has a strong voice.
Does he?
Even just in writing?
He goes on to say,
All
if
right.
you're looking for fluffy reassurances,
Right.
you're in the wrong place.
Okay. No kidding.
Right. But if you want the truth,
Yeah.
the real insights,
Mm-hmm.
and a push to take action,
Yeah.
stay right here, Lorenzo style,
Okay.
bold, raw,
Yeah.
and game-changing.
Wow, I love that he sets the tone right from the start.
Right. He's not messing around.
No, he's not.
Now,
Yeah.
he breaks down the month, week by week,
Okay.
to give us a glimpse of the major themes.
Got it.
So picture this.
All right.
Heading into March,
Yeah.
and the first week,
Okay.
March 1st to the 10th,
Uh-huh.
Lorenzo says,
What's he say?
your personal foundation is shaking. Family, home life, and emotional security are in focus. What have you been neglecting?
Interesting.
She's it.
So right off the bat, he's pushing for some introspection.
Yeah,
Those are pretty loaded questions.
they are.
Especially for Sagittarius, who's often more focused on the external world.
Right.
The external world, yeah.
Then from March 11th to the 20th,
Okay.
things start heating up.
Oh.
Lorenzo writes,
Right.
passions ignite, creativity is high,
Yeah.
but relationships are under review. Are you putting your energy into the right people and projects?
So we see a shift
Do we?
from that inward focus to a more outward expression,
Okay.
but with an emphasis on evaluating those close connections.
Those connections.
All right.
Yes.
Get this. From
Whoa.
March 21st to the 31st.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really intense.
Ooh, tense. Okay.
Lorenzo says, major shifts in love, career, and self-expression. You either take the leap or stay stuck. No more in between.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
That energy is palpable, even just reading it.
I know.
There's a real sense of urgency in that last week of March.
Lorenzo really drives home this theme
Does he?
of facing reality.
Okay.
Throughout the whole horoscope,
Mhm.
he repeatedly emphasizes
What's he say?
that you can't keep running from emotional baggage
Right.
and need to take responsibility in relationships.
That's good advice.
Is it
Yeah.
no escaping the truth in March, apparently?
It makes sense.
Does it?
When you consider what's happening astrologically
Yeah.
during that month.
Uh-huh. The planetary placements are all about pushing Sagittarius to confront things head on
Right.
and make some significant changes.
He even says, March isn't here to be easy.
Right.
It's here to be real.
Okay.
So
Wow.
buckle up.
Consider me officially intrigued.
All right. All right.
Now let's get into the specifics.
Okay.
Lorenzo breaks down the forecast into different areas of your life.
Mm-hmm.
First up is love and relationships.
I'm curious to see how this plays out for Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Especially given their love for freedom and independence.
So Lorenzo says to expect intensity, clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and a choice.
Okay.
It seems like settling will feel extremely uncomfortable this month.
That sounds like March could bring some major shakeups in this department.
Does it? And with Venus retrograde in Aries, then moving back into Pisces.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's not holding back.
No.
For those of you who are single,
Okay.
he warns
What's he say?
that someone from the past or an unexpected attraction may shake things up.
Oh.
But then questions.
All right, what's he say?
Is it real
Uh-huh.
or just a distraction?
That's such a key question.
Is it?
Especially for a sign that can be prone to impulsiveness.
Right?
It's going to be essential to really discern
Yeah.
between genuine connections And those fleeting distractions.
And for those of you in relationships,
Yes.
Lorenzo says,
Uh-huh.
deep conversations and truth bombs are coming.
Oh.
He advises, handle them with honesty,
Yeah.
not avoidance. So,
Ah.
maybe stock up on some calming tea,
Oh, I like that.
do you think,
Yeah.
for those conversations?
It seems like honesty and authenticity are going to be crucial for navigating those close relationships in March.
Right.
There's no room for sweeping things under the rug.
He concludes this section by
I'll just
saying,
say.
March demands brutal self-awareness in love. Are you in or out? Playing safe won't work anymore.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Is it?
Because this really echoes that theme of needing to confront things head on,
Uh-huh.
which we saw in the overall monthly overview as well.
Okay, wow.
Wow.
Lorenzo definitely didn't hold back there.
No, he did not.
I think a lot of Sagittarius folks
Yeah.
actually need to hear this, though.
You think so?
I do.
I agree.
Do you?
Sometimes we need a little tough love to really grow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next up
Yeah.
is career and money.
All right.
Get ready for some high-stakes energy.
This should be interesting.
Should it?
Sagittarius is known for their ambition and willingness to take risks.
Right.
How does that play out in March?
Lorenzo warns that it's a month of breakthrough or breakdown.
Okay.
It's your choice.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Is it?
What does he say about the specific opportunities or challenges that might come up?
He emphasizes
What's he say?
that creativity and bold risks will pay off if they're well calculated.
Okay.
But he also cautions against reckless leaps,
Right.
while reminding you not to play small either.
So calculated risks are key here.
Right.
Finding that balance between boldness and strategy seems crucial.
For those of you considering a career change,
Yeah.
Lorenzo says March forces you to make a move.
Wow.
He believes the opportunities are there,
Uh-huh.
but
What's
questions
he say?
if you have the courage to seize them.
That makes me think about Jupiter and Gemini,
Does it?
which is all about expansion in relationships and business deals.
Right.
It sounds like there's definitely potential for positive change.
And when it comes to money,
Yeah.
Lorenzo says
Yeah.
financial shifts are happening. Don't gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Plan smart, think long term.
Good advice.
Is it?
Especially with Mars and Cancer, there could be unexpected expenses or transformations around shared assets.
Right.
So
Maybe hold off on buying that lottery ticket this month.
probably a good idea.
He ends this section
Okay.
by stating that you need to either take control of your career direction
Mhm.
or let others dictate it for you.
Wow.
And that March is your turning point.
It feels like there's a real emphasis on agency and taking ownership of your path
Does it?
in both love and career.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And while this whole forecast might feel intense,
Yeah.
there's also a powerful message of empowerment woven throughout it.
Yes, there is.
What I'm hearing
Yeah.
is that you have choices to make,
Uh-huh.
and March is going to force you to face them.
I'm ready to hear what else Lorenzo has to say.
Now,
Yeah.
let's shift gears to mental and physical health.
Right.
Even for adventurous Sagittarius,
Yeah.
balance is key.
Especially with all of this intense energy swirling around.
Right.
What does Lorenzo recommend for maintaining well-being?
He starts by reminding you,
What's he say?
you've been pushing yourself hard. Maybe too hard.
Yeah,
Sound familiar?
definitely.
He
What's
adds,
he say?
March will show you the consequences if you don't slow down.
That resonates with the fact that Saturn and Neptune are both in Pisces,
Right.
suggesting there's potential for feeling drained or even dealing with challenging family dynamics.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to prioritize self-care and stay grounded.
Lorenzo specifically mentions fluctuating energy levels and warns of the risk of burnout
Right.
if you don't listen to your body
Uh-huh.
and prioritize rest and recovery. So
Yeah.
permission to say no.
Absolutely. To anything that feels draining,
Right.
with all of the emphasis on action and decision-making,
Yeah.
it's even more important to remember to take care of yourself.
He also warns that emotional weight from past wounds may surface.
Oh, that's heavy.
And advises.
What's he saying?
Face it,
Mm-hmm.
heal it,
Yeah.
don't suppress it.
It seems March is a time for deep emotional processing.
And finally,
Okay.
Lorenzo urges you to pay attention to your intuition,
Oh, yeah. Always good.
saying, if your intuition is screaming at you, pay attention. Your subconscious is revealing important truths.
That's a powerful message
Is it?
about tuning into your inner wisdom.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the answers are already within us, right?
Lorenzo wraps up the
Yeah.
mental and physical health section by stating, March isn't just about action.
Right.
It's about smart action. Self-awareness is your key to success.
I love that.
Do you?
It brings it back to the importance of being mindful and intentional,
Mm-hmm.
even when there's so much going on.
Okay.
All right.
We've covered a lot already.
Yeah, we have.
But there's still so much more to unpack.
Unpack, let's do it.
Before we dive into the specific planetary transits
Okay.
that are shaping this intense forecast,
Yeah.
let's hear how Lorenzo summarizes Sagittarius' March 2025
All right.
and what final takeaways
Yeah.
he has for this adventurous sign.
This is where we get to connect all the dots. All right, I'm excited to dig into the details and see how these planetary movements translate into real-life experiences for you in March 2025.
Me too.
Okay.
Lorenzo's given us a great overview,
Yeah, he has.
but now I'm ready to see how the individual transits create that bigger picture.
So let's start with the planetary placements that support that intense need to face reality he's been talking about.
Okay?
Okay, so he points to the sun's transition from Pisces to Aries within your chart during March.
So the sun is in Pisces.
Your fourth house.
Okay.
That's you March 20th.
Okay.
So think home, family, emotional security, those foundations of your life.
And Lorenzo notes
Uh-huh.
that you might find
Mm-hmm.
past issues with family or deep emotional wounds resurfacing during this time.
Yeah, not necessarily fun,
No.
but definitely important.
Yeah.
It's a period of going inward, really reflecting on those deeper emotional currents that you might have been
Right.
pushing aside, right?
And then
Uh,
on March 20th,
yeah.
bam, the sun moves into Aries, which is your fifth house.
And that shift brings a completely different energy.
Really?
Suddenly the focus is on creativity, self-expression, love, and pleasure.
Lorenzo says a major shift in confidence and personal passion is coming
Yeah, it's like you're being called to step out of those shadows,
out of the shadow.
out of that introspection, and
Okay.
really embrace your authentic self.
So maybe you'll feel more like yourself after that 20th.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got that big shift happening mid-month.
We do.
But let's back up a bit
Okay.
and talk more about love and relationships.
Okay.
Since Lorenzo really emphasized the intensity surrounding this area of your life in March.
And there's a big reason for that intensity. Venus retrograde.
Venus retrograde.
From March 2nd to the 27th, Venus is retrograde in Aries, sitting in your fifth house.
And he talks about potential romantic confusion, past lovers reappearing, and a need to reevaluate what brings you true joy.
Oh, yeah. So be prepared for some unexpected twists and turns.
Be prepared.
This is where you really need to examine your desires and make sure you're not settling for less than you deserve.
Right.
Because Venus retrograde is notorious for bringing those exes back around.
Oh.
But are they really what you want, or are you romanticizing the past?
Okay, so it's all about
Yeah.
seeing things clearly.
Exactly.
It's not just Venus retrograde
No.
that's shaking things up.
Right.
Lorenzo also highlights Pluto in Aquarius,
Okay.
which is hanging out in your third house.
Oh, throughout March.
Throughout March, yeah.
And that placement is all about transformation, especially when it comes to your communication, your thought patterns, and how you express yourself.
He says this transit could lead to
Yeah.
deep shifts in how you communicate, think, and express yourself.
So it's about finding your voice,
Finding your voice.
speaking your truth, and maybe even breaking free from old mental patterns that are no longer serving you.
Oh, breaking free from old patterns?
Yeah.
That sounds very Sagittarius.
It does, doesn't it? But then there's Lilith,
Lilith.
who starts in Libra in your 11th house.
Okay.
And then moves into Scorpio in your 12th house on March 28th.
And Lilith.
Lilith can bring some intensity too, especially in your social life.
Okay.
In your 11th house, it suggests possible drama with friends or even betrayals that force you to reevaluate those connections.
So watch out for those frenemies.
Yeah, you might find yourself needing to cut ties with people who aren't aligned with your true self.
And then
And then, as Lilith moves into your 12th house,
Yeah.
things get even deeper.
Lorenzo warns
Mm-hmm.
this transit could lead to
What could it lead to?
uncovering hidden enemies, self-sabotage, or deep subconscious fears surfacing.
It's a time for some serious shadow work, facing those hidden parts of yourself that might be holding you back.
Right?
Not always easy,
No.
but definitely powerful.
All right, so love, relationships, and those hidden enemies got it.
Got it.
Now let's talk about career and money.
All right, career and money.
Lorenzo called March a time of potential breakthrough or breakdown. Remember that.
Yes, I do. And with Mercury retrograde in Aries from March 15th to 30th in your 5th house, I can see why.
Right, he warned you about
Yeah.
potential delays in creative projects, misunderstandings in love, and setbacks in self-expression.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde is notorious for community glitches, technological issues, and just general confusion.
So it is.
So this is a time to double-check everything, communicate clearly, and avoid making any impulsive decisions.
But there are some positive aspects to this, too.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at all. Jupiter in Gemini is in your 7th house during March.
Okay.
And this transit brings expansion and opportunity,
Expansion and opportunity.
especially in your your relationships, business deals, and public interactions.
So,
Yeah.
while Mercury retrograde might slow things down,
It might.
Jupiter and Gemini could open up some exciting new possibilities.
Exactly. It's all about balance, right? This is a time to collaborate, network, and be open to those unexpected opportunities that might come your way.
But then there's Mars in Cancer,
Uh-oh.
which is in your 8th house
Throughout March.
throughout March.
That sounds a little intense,
It does.
especially around finances.
Mars in Cancer can bring some emotional intensity,
It can.
especially when it comes to shared resources or financial matters.
It can.
Lorenzo warns of potential,
Mm-hmm.
financial intensity, unexpected expenses, or major transformations in shared assets.
Okay, so maybe March isn't the best time to make any risky investments.
Probably not.
No, this is a time to be cautious with your spending,
Right.
prioritize financial stability,
Mhm.
and maybe avoid those impulse buys.
Yeah. Let's not forget about mental and physical health
Yeah.
with everything else going on.
Uh-huh.
Self-care is essential.
It is.
What does Lorenzo say about maintaining well-being during this wild month?
He really emphasizes the importance of finding balance.
Balance.
Yeah, especially with Saturn and Neptune, both in Pisces,
Okay.
hanging out in your 4th house throughout March.
Right. He mentions potential struggles with home life, feeling drained by family obligations,
Yeah, it's a lot.
and the importance of addressing those deeper emotional wounds we talked about earlier.
So true. This is where creating a nurturing and supportive environment for yourself becomes so important.
Nurturing and support.
Setting boundaries, saying no when you need to,
Yeah.
and really prioritizing those things that bring you peace and comfort.
So bubble baths,
Bubble bath, yes.
long walks in nature,
Absolutely.
maybe some meditation, all good things.
Exactly.
And speaking of big events,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the full moon and total lunar eclipse in Virgo
That's right.
on March 14th,
Okay.
which directly impacts your 10th house of career and public image.
This one feels like a biggie.
It does.
It is.
Lorenzo says
Huh.
this eclipse could bring a
What could it bring?
career revelation, public recognition, or a major shift in life purpose.
Wow. Okay, so maybe a sudden promotion,
A promotion,
a dream job offer, or even a major change in direction entirely.
a change in direction. All right.
It's a time to be open to all possibilities.
Okay.
Embrace change.
Embrace change. Okay.
And really step into that leadership role you were born to play.
He also highlights
Yeah.
3 specific dates
Okay.
that are going to shape the energy of March.
All right.
So mark these on your calendar.
I will.
First up, March 14th, the day of that total lunar eclipse in Virgo.
Big day.
A day for potential career breakthroughs.
Breakthroughs.
Or maybe even some necessary endings.
Definitely a day for reflection and maybe some journaling.
Journaling.
See what comes up for you around your professional life.
Right.
What do you want to achieve? What's no longer serving you?
Then on March 20th,
Okay.
we have the sun entering Aries.
Oh, yes. The big shift.
Remember that big gift we talked about earlier?
It's a time to reclaim joy, passion, and personal expression.
It's a time to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight.
Exactly. Embrace your creativity, your unique gifts, and those things that truly light you up.
And finally, March 28th brings a new moon
New moon.
and a partial solar eclipse in Aries,
Wow.
both in your 5th house.
A double whammy.
Double whammy.
This is a powerful day for new beginnings in any area related to your 5th house. Love, creativity, self-expression, or even those personal goals and dreams you've been putting off.
Putting off.
So if you've been wanting to start a new creative project, launch that business idea, or even just declare your love for someone,
Oh, wow.
March 29th might be the perfect day to take action.
Okay, so we've got some intense transits.
We do.
A lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of opportunities for growth and change.
So much change.
What else does Lorenzo say about this wild month?
Lorenzo breaks down March into 3 distinct phases.
3 distinct phases.
I'm curious to hear how he ties all of these individual transits and themes together.
All right, so we've broken down all the major astrological influences
We have.
that are shaping your March 2025.
Right, but let's hear how Lorenzo brings it all together.
Okay.
What's his final synthesis for this intense month?
So
Yeah.
let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
What's the overall vibe for early March?
He starts by breaking the month into 3 distinct phases.
3 distinct phases, okay.
Which makes sense given all the shifts we've talked about.
But it does.
So
early March.
is all about
What's it about?
emotional healing, family dynamics, and personal security taking center stage.
So he really emphasizes
It-
those fourth house themes.
It's a time for introspection, facing those deeper emotional currents that might have been neglected.
Right.
He's really calling you to reflect on your emotional foundations and address any lingering issues, especially those tied to family or your home life.
Sounds like a lot of inner work.
It is.
It is, yeah.
But then things shift pretty dramatically
They do.
as we move into mid-March.
Mid-March, yeah,
Don't they?
definitely. Remember how we talked about that mid-March period?
Yes.
Feeling like a roller coaster?
I do. It was intense.
With Venus and Mercury, both retrograde, plus that
Mhm.
powerful lunar eclipse in Virgo impacting your 10th house of career.
Right. It's a lot.
It's no wonder Lorenzo calls this phase a time of major shifts in love, career, and self-expression.
Yeah, this is where all those big decisions come into play.
Right.
You're being pushed to take action.
Take action.
To define your path.
Define your path.
And to stop avoiding those tough choices.
Okay, so we've got emotional foundations in early March,
Yes.
major shifts in mid-March.
Major shifts.
And then what about those last few weeks?
Those last few weeks, yeah.
What does late March have in store?
Late March brings a sense of renewal and empowerment,
Renewal and empowerment.
especially as the sun moves into Aries.
Okay.
And we have that partial solar eclipse,
Right.
both in your 5th house.
So after all that intensity and introspection,
Yes,
you finally get to step into your power.
exactly. Lorenzo describes late March as a time of creative rebirth, stepping into leadership and embracing personal power.
Stepping into leadership?
It's like you've gone through a crucible, faced your shadows,
Right.
and now you're ready to emerge stronger and more aligned with your true self.
So if we're thinking of March as a journey, it's like you're starting in the depths,
Yeah,
then navigating some rough seas,
definitely some rough seas.
and finally landing on a shore
Sure.
full of new possibilities.
That's a great analogy.
Is it?
I think that's what makes this forecast so compelling.
It's honest,
It is
it's raw,
raw, yeah.
but it's also incredibly hopeful.
Incredibly hopeful, I agree.
Even though Lorenzo doesn't sugarcoat things,
He does not.
there's a sense of empowerment throughout this whole
Yes.
forecast.
Absolutely.
You get to make choices,
You do.
take action,
Yeah.
and ultimately create the life you want.
And that's what's so exciting about astrology, isn't it?
It is.
It's not about fate or predestination.
No.
It's about understanding the energies at play so you can work with them consciously.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
Lorenzo's incredibly detailed and unfiltered forecast for Sagittarius
It was intense.
in March 2025.
Very intense.
Are you ready to redefine your story?
It's going to be an intense ride.
An intense ride, yeah.
That's for sure. But if you can embrace the challenges, stay true to yourself, and take those leaps of faith, March has the potential to be a truly transformative month.
Absolutely. If this deep dive has resonated with you and you want even more personalized insights,
Yeah,
we encourage you to check out Lorenzo's work.
definitely.
He offers individual readings that provide an even deeper understanding of your birth chart and how these transits might play out in your life specifically.
Absolutely. And remember, astrology is a tool for self-discovery and empowerment.
Self-discovery and empowerment.
It's not about predicting the future. It's about understanding yourself and the energies that are shaping your journey.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride.
Wild ride indeed.
Until next time,
Yes.
keep exploring,
Keep exploring.
keep learning,
Keep there.
and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.